Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
We're waiting. 50 seconds, come on. Watch the out, watch the out.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
53, Mike.
To throw is Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ballage. Room here to run. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 39 yards there, a big one. Here's a run with Ballage into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Jets 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tackles.
Here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
They'll run here with Balaj. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen. And I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He couldn't get the edge there, wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, an even 90 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jameis to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
Right there, 56. Alrighty. Kill.
On second down, it's Bell.
Go, run.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now Darnold. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State with a sack. But let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here through an opening, and there he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 39-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Check. Watch 54. There's a party now.
They'll try the right side with Bell. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and they just steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
22 jet bombers. Watch out.
3rd and 2, Darnold. Open man is Anderson. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
56, check 56. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Mark 56.
Throwing on second down. Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On first down, Bell down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm here all day. Check.
On the counter, here's Bell. About 3 yards there to the 27.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Caught here by Bell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That'll bring up 4th down after back-to-back 3-yard pickups. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Check the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey, tight. Mark 56.
Now it's Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. What we got? Ready? Hey, watch that.
Darnold from the gun. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
The blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. On second and very short, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Balaj. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 19. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And the Seahawks have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's complete to Bolden. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Winston lets it go for net. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Second and 16 at the 19-yard line.
Mike, 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know.
Now on second and 16. Darnold. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
Ready. Black, Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Yeah, let's get second.
They run it with Balaj. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a second and 11. Now they try the right side here. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 2.
Makes the score Seahawks 21, Jets 19.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Ready. Blue ready.
A 39-yard gain on the play. And the Seahawks.
Green, 17. 53
first down.
for Mike. Check 53. Rip left, rip left. Easy, easy, easy. 53 at the left. Let's go. Mike.
throwing the interception. Winston throwing the out route incomplete. It's Carter. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Darnold. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. And he's going to go down again. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 26-yard line.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
It's been a long day for you. Shit. Hey, shot on the 50.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Back 25 behind. They can't hang with us.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
That's how you score.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Darnold going for the deep ball. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Check, 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 check.
X3, 218, chop it.
On 2nd down now. It's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one. And it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it with Bell. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. Elijah Lee there to make the stop defensively. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now, really hoping for a turnover.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Again, it's Balaj. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Winston. It's complete to Drake. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 40. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's.
And it'll be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. 27 yards on the game there. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Focus, defense, focus.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Darnold, a screen to Bell. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's Bell. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A first down run for Bell, not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's second down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
2 yards on the play. It's second and goal.
From the 22, Darnold. This is Bell on the dump off. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's going to let it fly. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Mike. Ready. Black 25.
Mike. Record.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Now a handoff looking right. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
38. Jets.